Hey guys, what's up? It's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel, Lose Weight Sarah, where I'm on a mission to lose 100 pounds my way. Today I have to get some cardio in, but it's a little too cold, so I think it's time to finally crack open Ring Fit Adventure. Ring Fit Adventure is on the Nintendo Switch, and it is a fitness-oriented game where you complete certain tasks by using the ring and a leg strap. So we're gonna unbox this real quick, install it on the Nintendo Switch, and then give it a try. All right, so let's start by opening this up and seeing what is in the package. So as you can see here, it's got the characters on the front, kind of giving us an idea of what to expect. Then on the back of the box, it has a little bit of information about the game. Shows you where your Joy-Cons are gonna go in the device, and then gives you an example of some of the exercises. We see squats, looks like some yoga moves there. There's some bow and arrow action. This looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, so let's get it opened up. Okay, so here is the game. Pretty basic Nintendo Switch box. Nice cardboard cutout. All right, so here is the ring. Oh, it has a lot more tension than I pictured. Let's get it out of this plastic. So really nice material handle. Looks like you can take that off to clean it, I'm guessing. Another handle on the other side. And this is where our Joy-Con is gonna slide in. It does let you know whether or not it's connected right here. Okay, so that's the ring. And then we have the leg strap. Now, one thing I was really concerned about was how adjustable this was, and I couldn't find anything that said the measurements, but it looks like it has a lot of space. So we should be okay. And it's super stretchy. So you can see that. This is like a nice neoprene material. Again, I'm guessing this is washable, and this is where the Joy-Con is gonna fit in. So what we'll do is we'll put this on my leg first, adjust it, and then put in the Joy-Con. All right, I'm gonna go start installing the game on my Switch. So once you fire up the game, it's pretty much ready to go, but it does take you through this suit up guide where it explains how to attach the Joy-Cons to the various devices. So first it will show you how to position the leg strap, and then it's going to show you how to snap in the Joy-Con into the Ring-Con. So I started with the leg strap as it did in the video, and I was very relieved that it actually did go around my thigh, which I was a little nervous about. I have about 26-inch circumference thighs, so it would be considered plus size. But I didn't have any problems. It stretched just fine, and it stayed in place the entire time I played the game. Attaching the Ring-Con to the Joy-Con was easy. And of course, we got that very satisfying switch click. So when you start up the game, it is actually going to ask you a series of questions and then show you a couple of different ways to use the Ring-Con as a controller. It does take a little bit of getting used to because you're turning it side to side rather than just, clicking a button or using a directional pad. I was pleasantly surprised at how much tension the Ring-Con really does have. It takes some effort to actually go ahead and do the movements, so squeezing it and pulling it apart. And you can see here it's showing me how to do all those different moves. You do have to point the Ring-Con over your head if you want to move up in a menu. It then gives you the choice of what type of gameplay you want to have. For my example video, I'm just choosing the regular gameplay, so that is the story mode of the game. Before you begin the actual game, on your first go around, you're going to have to input some basic information. It's going to ask you your age and your weight. This was actually the most frustrating part of the entire setup process for me because it was very, very tricky. As you can see, I'm really struggling with the directional pad on how to enter in the numbers for my weight. As a matter of fact, I cut out a bunch of footage here because it took me so long to figure out, because it does not explain to you that you hold the Joy-Con straight across and you follow the buttons that way, not up and down like they would normally be. But once I got that going, it asked a few more questions about my fitness level, and then it was pretty much time to get started. At this point, you can customize your character. They don't give you a whole lot to choose from other than a male and female body type. There is a very wide range of skin tones. Kudos, Nintendo, for the diversity. And then you can also choose eye color. A little disappointing that you can't choose hair color. In typical Nintendo fashion, the story does start off with a lot of talking. Your character finds a magical ring on the ground and for some reason decides to listen to it, and you have to use your strength to set the spirit within the ring that is calling out to you free. I will say that the graphics here, while not completely impressive, are really colorful and fun, and they do make it fun to look at. So of course, freeing this creature is your very first test of strength, and I won't ruin a whole bunch of the story for you in case you're into that sort of thing, but guess what? The creature is evil, and now you've got to go on a quest to stop it. The ring that you picked up earlier and released the creature from does reveal itself to be its own entity that was holding back this evil spirit, though they don't really tell you what the motivation of the evil creature is, so I guess you're going to have to discover that later in the journey. Another built-in feature is the heart rate monitor. Now, I really don't know how accurate this is because it's using a camera on top of the Joy-Con. As you can see, I'm having a hard time following the instructions and struggling to get the grip right. It will take your heart rate monitor before and after you start a level. That way you are able to kind of identify how many calories you burned during that particular level. Again, I don't know how accurate that truly is, so probably best to take it with a grain of salt. Finally, it is time to start the first level. So it looks like the first bit of the course is a 3-stage course, which I'm guessing ends in some sort of boss battle. But for this video, we're just going to do the very first level just so we can get a feel for it. So once you're ready to begin, it gives you instructions over on the side. In this case, I'm to jog in place. Obviously, the faster you go, the faster your character will go. Your goal is to keep your hair, which I know it's tough to see in this video, but it's like lit up. You want to keep yourself in sync with your ring by following the movements on the screen and making sure that your hair is lit up at all times. That means you're doing it properly and moving at a good pace. Now, there are 2 basic movements introduced in this level. One is the wind blast. So in that case, you will squeeze the ring when aiming at an object in order to break it. And then there's another one that will come later in the level that has you vacuum by pulling apart the ring, and it sucks up all the coins and objects around. So you can see here, I'm aiming at the box and just blasting that to get my coins and experience. Now, because I was jogging this whole time, I really didn't feel like I got to look around a whole lot at the scenery. Plus, there were a lot of cues on the screen telling me what to do at certain points. So there isn't a whole lot of like stop and look around, at least not in this very first level. Which I guess makes sense because the idea of the game is to get you moving. So this part coming up here was really, really cool. So you're going to actually use that blast power from the ring to open these sets of doors. And it takes about 3 blasts, unless you do a really strong blast, to open the doors. So you're pumping in and squeezing that ring. It was really, really tough. And after this next part where there were quite a few doors consecutively, I was actually really feeling it in my arms. At this very next part, when you run down a little hallway, it teaches you this really cool flying move. So you actually point the ring down at the ground and squeeze it. So you're actually working a different group of muscles than what you were squeezing across your chest when you're squeezing to the bottom. So that helps you float up through these rings. Now here I was screwing it up and I had to blast the door open again. Here's those consecutive doors where you're really squeezing, and I was really feeling this. When stairs appear in the game, it actually tells you to lift your knees really high to help you go up the stairs faster. As you can see, this was really tricky for me. I can't get my legs up quite that high yet, but I made it up. I survived. As a gamer, this next part really frustrated me. What you were supposed to do is run down these stairs and then use that flying maneuver to float yourself up. However, I guess I didn't hold it long enough, and so I missed all of those coins up there, and it really frustrated me because there's no way to turn around and go backwards. At least not one that I figured out. If you know a way to do that, please comment below and tell me what a moron I am. So this level is very clearly your basic tutorial level. Again, would have liked to been able to kind of look around, but you really just stick to one path. It does have you blasting boxes quite a bit to gain the coins and experience. The scenery does look really pretty though, and it was a lot of fun. Here is that vacuum movement, and then more running to get down the path. And it looks like we're getting very close to the goal. Yay, we did it! Here it is actually taking my victory pose picture to stretch out. So when you finish the level, it's going to give you a few stats, and it starts by monitoring your heart rate to gauge what your heart rate was when you started the level versus what it was when you finished. So it counted it as light exercise, and it took me 4 minutes, 17 seconds, and I burned about 34 calories total. So not a huge workout, but something better than nothing. Despite a little bit of a clunky setup process, the game is actually really fun, and I can totally feel it in my arms and see how you could get a really good workout out of this game. The very first level that I took you through is a little bit on the short side. It was under 5 minutes, or at least it took me under 5 minutes to complete it. So I'm hoping that some of the levels as I progress through the game are a little bit longer so that I can get more of a workout without kind of those pauses in between. The other unfortunate thing that I think Nintendo really missed out on an opportunity for is multiplayer mode, where you could connect with a friend on the Switch and play together and kind of have some friendly competition. But Nintendo is kind of known for that. They don't really do a lot of multiplayer online games per se. So I'm not really surprised that they don't have it, but I think in this case, it would have been nice to be able to have that little bit of competition and being able to play with your friends. So you know the game is rated 10 and up. So that's a pretty broad range of ages. It's really for anybody. And what's also really nice is you can kind of adjust the fitness level. So if you wanted it to be a little easier, you could certainly set it that way. So what did you guys think? Do you think you'll check out Ring Fit Adventure on your Nintendo Switch? If so, leave me a comment below and let me know. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. So until next time, I'll see you real soon.